Yeah, I know I've said it before. Jimmy Tibbs, great guy, man. The old man, fantastic man. Big, big as an house, 6'3", I suppose he was. He looks about 19, 20 stone to me, could even be a bit bigger than that. His hands were twice the size of mine, massive wrists. And you could see when he was in the butcher's, yeah, when he used to cut up meat, you know, he's done that before. I suppose he works in the meat market. If he ain't in the meat market, he's been cutting bodies up, you know. I'm telling you, he don't muck about, mate. But he was a nice man, man. I mean, you know, I was next door to him. I was in the potato peeling. He was in the butcher shop. I was going there and trying to get bits of meat. And, you know, and when you talk to him, you say, look, don't go out yet. The Welsh guy's out there. And, you know, he will nick you away. If he sees anything on you, mate, you will nick it. I haven't been in the kitchen very long. It's me trying to punch meat. So anyway, he said, no, don't go out. Anyway, I see him. He was like walking in front of me. And then he turned over to the left. And then he sort of come past me. The front of his ovals are puffed out with whatever he had in there. And the Welsh screw that's down the side let him go, yeah? Me, I went up to there, the Welsh screw was down my legs, all over my groin, around my back, everything. I thought, you know what I mean? He had a lot of power, Jim, you know what I mean? A lot of power. It's because he was a butcher, and he cut meat up for the screws. The screws would go in there, and he'd cut their steaks out and their chops and all that game and give it to him. Mitchell, the SO, nice guy, mate. He was a proper guy. Have you ever seen Sugar Puffs, yeah? The Honey Monster. They used to call me the Honey Monster because I was so big, I was huge, yeah? And when I used to go training in the gym, in dinner times, and I was come back to the kitchen, loads of people used to walk in there with vests, yeah? If I walked in there with a vest and he stopped me at the gate or the door, he'd go, no, go back and get a vest on, a t-shirt on, Ellie. You ain't coming in like that, mate. My shoulders are huge, you know what I mean? Massive. He go, no, you ain't coming in like that, mate. No way, go and get a t-shirt on. And yeah, Mitchell was all right. But the Welsh screw, he was bad. I remember Gorgeous Georgie Jones and Alan Dixon. I was helping him out on the bakers, yeah, doing the rolls. And that Welsh screw, X-block screw, nasty man, mate. Spat on the table, threw the dough and started doing the rolls. Alan Dixon and Georgie Jones went absolutely mad. The Welsh screw's face, he was a nasty man. You could see that how many people was pressed up down the block, mate. He must have been really bad, you know what I mean? His eyes went bright red and he was growling, like really growling. And the SO come out, Mitchell, he said, what's the problem? And they said nothing. They didn't go. I was trying to say, oh, he's had a bit of an argument with him, Governor, but we're okay now. It's all over. But and then the Welsh screw sort of like went over to the side of the table and started doing his own thing. But you could see he took the right piss, spitting on the table for cons to do their rolls. Yeah. But Georgie Jones, Gorgeous George, nice guy. He was always taking stuff out of the kitchen. Always, he never stops. But Ronnie Malloy, I love Ronnie Malloy, mate. A nice old man, not old man, but involved with the silver and bullion. He reckons he dug all holes all around London, filling it up with silver bullion. Fancy going out, they've already dug it up to put a block of flats there, you know what I mean? But he was a nice geezer, man. But it was hard work to try and get anything out there like sugar, coffee, tea, and all biscuits and cakes, because he used to do the officer's mess as well. It was hard work to get anything out there. He'd never give you anything wrong because that was his little perks. And him and Jimmy Tibbs, the old man, had it worked out, yeah? Ronnie Bender used to come in at least twice a week. He was on the works. Ronnie Bender had a lot of power, mate, in that prison. Everybody loved him because he was a nice guy. He never took no liberties. Always give you anything that he had. He got such a good talker, mate. He could get anything he wanted. I've seen him in the kitchen with Jimmy Tibbs. Leg of lamb, fold it up, put it in the bin, walk out, come back, couple of steaks, walk out, pork chops, walk out. you know, and they had it all sorted, mate. They had it all sorted. They never took liberties. Whatever they took, they shared, yeah, because there wasn't no fridges. Only the fridges was in the kitchen, so there was no fridges on the wing, yeah. So obviously, so you can't start nicking big bits of meat, lots of meat, and you know, you get be rotten. So they only took what they could take for maybe a day or 2 days. If it was winter, better. You know, summertime, they just took for that day. But people with money, like Mickey Green, Tony Edlin, who was with Mickey Green, they was the ones that had the money. Ronnie Bender, he was like, everybody respected him, he could do what he likes. You had proper people, Alan Dixon's in there. There's a lot of faces in there that I don't really remember. You know, Tibbs's I remember really, really well, because Jimmy Tibbs, the young Jimmy, the one that was a good boxer, come out and started training people. He was this guy. You could see the old man, Jimmy Tibbs, the old man, and a young Jimmy were like doubles. You know, they all everyone looks the same. Yeah, they all look really the same, and the old man never get no grief. Tibbs is never get no grief in there because of young Jimmy. Yeah, and the old man could really have it as well. So they got away with anything they wanted to get away with. No one he took liberties with them. Young Jim, in the gym, mate, he was so fit. I was seeing one man in the yard. We had a big yard, had a big rugby pitch on it, 2 little football pitches, so it was massive, yeah. And I used to see young Jimmy, he used to run around there all the time, you know. He was quite fit. And I was lucky in there because outside, I got put outside because I was in the gym. I love the gym. I love the weights, yeah. And for me to get hold of the screwing, I think it was Johnson, I'm not quite sure, he knew me from the YP, then Scrubs and all that. But Johnson, he was the PTI in there. I said to the governor, I said, look, you got outside, you got a big sort of like metal, sort of like a galvanised sheet, shed, a round shed. So I said, well, you know, why can't we put weights in there and all that? He said, I don't think security will allow that. And then he come back to me, he said, yeah, it'd be all right, Eddie. You've got a big fence, runs right round it with barbed wire. So, you know, it was sweet. He said, yeah, you know. So we started taking weights out there on the barrows and all this, that and the other. And so I had a gym in the fields, round by the playing fields, yeah. I had a big gym in there, so I could go there if I don't want to play rugby. But what I would do, I would go in there, me, Peter Lyons, Mickey Blackmore, Roy Atkins, go there and have a good workout, yeah? And have a good workout and then go and play rugby, yeah? Not like play it, but, you know, like practice, running around with the ball and all this, that and the other bit. When you're massive, and I was like, you know, I was big anyway at Albany Prison, and when I got to 1074, I come back to Albany, I was about 8.5, 9 stone. So I started to build up very quick, yeah? I got back in the kitchen, I got back on the yeast, yeah. It's something that maybe it's just mental, it's a mental thing. But when you sort of like training with people when I was in Albany, yeah, that used to take baker's yeast, yeah, and it used to thin their blood, believe it or not, and because the pump, you get a massive pump. I don't know what it is, like a void, so I don't know what it is, yeah, but I got massive, just taking yeast all the time. Yeast and milk and all that, and I got huge, yeah. So when I was in the kitchen in Chelmsford Prison, I've done the same thing on the bakers, go up to the bakers. I go to the SO Mitchell, I go, just a little bit, Gov. He go, yeah, put it in your mouth now, Ellie. Let me see you swallow it, and I'll give you a little bit because he was like, he knew. Listen, anybody else like Jimmy Tibbs, the old man, Ronnie Malloy, Alan Dixon. All them little firms that was in the kitchen, they only got away with it. But me, he wouldn't let me get away with nothing. It was on my case. He must have thought, because I was so big, that I was bullying and all this. But he was put it in your mouth, show me, Ellie, and then give me some water, swallow it. Every day I was just take yeast, yeah. And all of a sudden, I just said, I started really getting massive. So when I played rugby, when we used to go, like, I was really big, yeah. And I was a prop. Me and Peter Lyons were props. Kenny Beagle, I think it was scrum half Ken. I I forget who was behind me. It was I forget all the names. But then I done second row as well. But props I liked, yeah. A couple of times, you know, you get a good rugby team, mate. You get a really good rugby team on the scrums, yeah. They know how to work it, and they will try and break your fucking neck. You know what I mean? They're pushing you, and all of a sudden they come up underneath you, get right underneath you, and push up. They're pushing step like this, and your neck. I've done it lots of times, but I used to do loads and loads and loads of neck exercises. You know, I was really into the neck exercises. And Jimmy Tibbs, the young Jimmy Tibbs, he'd come out and train with us. He was quite strong, Jimmy's Atmos, you know what I mean? But I was seeing shadowboxing, you know, shadowboxing out in the grass, out in the yard. And I liked Jim, mate. He was a proper guy, you know what I mean? He was like, you know, and the old man, fair play to the old man, mate. You know, the old man sometimes, he'd get a bit upset. You see him get a bit, you know, you could see in his eyes, the tears in his eyes, his sons all got nicked, didn't they? You know, and the old man, you could see he didn't want his boys to be nicked. But, you know, I really believe, yeah, even today I believe, the way the old man talks about it, that they were not guilty. They were not guilty of what they tried to do them for, what they did to them for, yeah. But they was maybe guilty of something, but not guilty of the charge that they got found guilty of. You know, and got a big bird that they got, yeah. But the old man was a very powerful man. Young Jimmy, he was very powerful. John, Robert, I mean, they're very, very powerful people, yeah. I liked them a lot. I didn't really see John and Robert that much, because when at Chelmsford Prison, they was only there a couple of months, I think, and then they left. It was on the other side, the short centre side, yeah. But Jimmy, the old man, and young Jimmy was there when I was there, yeah. And even there when the fire was there, you know. But the wings, our wing, was like, it was, you know, people don't believe the way I talk about it, yeah. But Chelmsford Prison was like a different prison. You had a governor that was so lax, mate, and a chief, but obviously they come down, if you fucked about, mate, they come down your hard, because they give you so much, yeah. And if you mucked about, mate, they'd come down on your hard, mate, and you'd be in trouble. But you wouldn't never see many people in there get themselves in a problem, yeah, because they don't want any problems, yeah, because it breaks the neck up, yeah. And so, you know, you've got to remember that in there, that in the kitchen, every day, every night, they'd be cooking steaks, pork chops, lamb chops, you know, anything. They'd cook all the good food, baked potatoes, cauliflower, cabbage, you know, peas, greens, and all them everything, proper dinners, and you know, people would see it, and you know, you get Jimmy Tibbs, the old man, you know, he'd go up and give someone a dinner, someone that ain't got no food, you know, good man, mate, and I loved him, man. He was such a nice guy, you know, and so to go into Chelmsford Prison and meet the people I met, you know, and you think to yourself, wow, I'll come, when I went in prison in them days, 70, 73, 74, and moved on and come out in 78, 79, on one sentence, yeah, you think to yourself, wow, man, I've seen so much. I've seen such a lot, you know. All these people they're good people, man. And when I say good people, I mean good people. Give you anything, you go on a visit. I mean, you know, it's the only prison that I know. The scrubs, yes, you used to do it in the scrubs. On a Sunday in the scrubs, you could get your dinner. You get a roast dinner, a pudding, and a pint of drink, a pint of beer, or whatever it is, yeah. People took liberties, started bullying people and all that, and they stopped the drink, yeah. What's all this happens? You always get cons that back it up, yeah. But when I was in the scrubs, my old mum loved her up, mate. She was so good. Up at 4, 5 in the morning, cooking me a big dinner, nice sweet, you know, bring it in. You get a lovely dinner, mate. You put it in the ovens, and you know, and you got a beautiful dinner, you know, for a Sunday. Yeah, my old mum loved it, right? So you can imagine when you're in Chelmsford Prison, yeah, you go on a visit over there, and you're allowed to eat on the visit. The governor was like a different governor, mate. You could eat on the visit. And they used to bring bottles of wine in, beer, you could drink on the visit, you know. And I've gone there and, chicken put in a big plastic container, and you're there eating your chicken and baked potatoes, you're eating it there. You're not taking the piss. You're not taking the piss. Anybody there that's not really eating, you want something to eat, you know. Everybody looks after everybody, so there's no favouritism. You know, everybody's the same. There's not one person can eat without the other person. Everybody's eating the same, yeah. So they've got. I know I said it before. The greatest thing I ever see was Frankie Fraser, or with his old mum. She used to come and visit him maybe once a month. You know, not all the time, but you know, she was a lovely old girl, mate, and she loved her son, mate, Frank. And she used to bring him chickens and legs of lamb. You know, he'd be tearing the lamb off and eating it. And you could always, I knew it a couple of times. When I was with my mum, and my mum laughed, mate. My mum couldn't stop laughing. When the old woman said, Frank, come on, darling, give me all that man bones and all that, and things and all that. And Frank said, no, it's all right, mum, I'll do it all. And as Frank's wrapping it up, he'd say, Mum, it's all right, darling, leave all this. She'd go, no, I've got to take it with me. I don't want to be untidy. Frank said, Mum, leave it. I'm going to give it to the governor's dog, yeah? Because the governor's dog, you know, loves bones. And no! She hated anything to do with authority. She hated it. Hated the screws. The governor, she hated him so much. Because the governor sometimes, in the visiting room, he'd walk round, people were drinking, eating, and it's this such a nice guy, yeah? But he'd walk round, maybe Frank would be there with his mum, and the governor come over and she'd go, go away! Yeah. She was lovely, mate. She was lovely. You know, and I remember the time, I know I'm fast forwarding it a bit, but I can remember the time, Togi and about Joe Lott and a lot of other people. I remember quite names, you know, and he got, was it Lou Swallow, Terry, the dome guy, Terry, I forget his name. So, and they got me in the toilet, yeah? And not got me in the toilet like that, got me in the toilet, and it was Christmas time. I mean, quick, have a pipe. And I didn't smoke, never took nothing, yeah? Have a pipe. I went, no, little brass thing it was, have one. I went, listen, I'll have one, yeah? Right, so I stuck it in my mouth, breathe it in, and they get fucking dummy in, and I put it down, and I thought, I can't feel nothing, you know? And also, Togi, maybe talking. Terry Millman, that's it, Terry Millman. Talking to Terry Millman, Terry Millman put something on the pipe. And I can never forget, it was a black with a bit of white in it, yeah? And I'd done it. And I went, oh, you know, as I walked down the landing, it kicked in. Later on, Togi told me, and he said it was like opium black. Opium black. And Terry Millman, I love Terry Millman, mate. Terry Millman didn't stand no bollocks. Terry Millman never stood nothing like that. He would not have anybody try and take liberties. Terry Millman was a proper guy, mate. You know, and Lou Swallow, Terry Millman, them two together was like brothers, mate. You know, you couldn't separate them. They used to do the best paintings you could ever see in prison. Paintings they'd done was just unbelievable, you know, and I know I said it before, and I remember it was either Lou Swallow or Terry Millman together. They'd done a painting of, I don't know what it was, plate houses or back big fields or whatever it was, yeah? But it was all done in faces, yeah? Millions of faces, all different faces, smiling. It was all different faces, different people, and it was like massive. It was on the back wall. And it was not back all the side wall by the bed. It was massive, you know. And that must have been worth a fortune, you know. And when the Nick burnt down, you know, I suppose everybody went, and then Screws took all his paintings out of the cells. What they took out of there, what the Screws took out of that prison, Chelmsford prison, is no one's business, mate. Because you've got people that come in, you know, to Ronnie Malloy, Mickey Green, the Timpsons, Alan Dixon's, other people, Togi Ludlow, Terry Millman, all them people. I never had nothing. I've got to admit it. I never had nothing, but I got looked after, yeah? But you got people, you know, that come in for visits and they take the wife's chain, like gate bracelet, or whatever they take, charm bracelets, necklaces, watches, rings. They take all that off them, get it in, and go up to Ronnie Bender or something like that, and Ronnie Bender go, okay, I'll give you that for it, tobacco or a bit of whatever, and so you give him smokes. And so there's a lot of jewellery left in Chelmsford Prison. So you can imagine when it burnt down, it was burning down, and the screws come up in your cell. Out now! No, out now! Everybody out. They didn't have a chance to do anything, not even take a suitcase with them, They had no chance of doing anything, And you went, wow, you just got to get out there as quick as possible. They're not keeping you in that place. You're out. But where you're going to reception, and bump onto the visits. And you're going in there, mate. And the amount of people sitting in there going, fucking hell, I'm in trouble. They're going to find that in my Peter. They're going to find this in my soul, And when you think about it, I know they got rid of us quick because it was the centre of that Chelmsford prison that burnt down, yeah? I mean, that was above the church, yeah? That belt down, that collapsed. That all collapsed into the centre, yeah? I'd love to have bought that bell down, a massive big bell, I don't know if Chelmsford prison still got that bell, but they used to ring that bell on every hours and things like that to let people bang up and unbutton, all that sort of thing, unlock, bang up and all that, So you can imagine when we all left, there's people all in the visiting room, yeah? And a lot of other people went out into somewhere else, but all the real dodgy, dangerous people went into the visiting room, to get them out as quick as possible. All seeming, to get them out. They're going out of the neck quick. We don't want them, because it was so many people running around, and the neck was not secure. It was not secure, you know what I mean? Because the neck's going, there's like so many people running around, people could get out easy, yeah? And so they had to get rid of them. So, anyway, and even, memories of, the governor, and the chief getting together with, I think it was like people like Ronnie Malloy, and maybe Ronnie Bender and people like that, or the old man Jimmy Tibbs, would have taken him into the office and say, look, we're thinking about getting some ballerinas come in. Would everybody behave themselves? If we've got ballerinas in there, there's no, in the new church part of it, really nice in there, bit all wood, it was lovely, big stage. If we get people in there like ballerinas, would they behave themselves? Would the cons behave themselves? You've got the old man there, Jimmy Tibbs, you've got all that lot in there, Ronnie Benders and all that, Alan Dixon. Alan Dixon was the funniest guy you ever seen. He's always making jokes. I don't think Alan would have gone to about the ballerinas, because he'd have made a joke of it, and he'd go, no. So the ones that did go, just said, yeah, there'd be no problems. It'd be nice, But when it actually was there, when we all come to the church, yeah, it was all C ring, not B ring, all C ring. When we went to the church, and we actually see the ballerinas, all in their tutus. You can imagine, can't you? With all us guys, not maybe have visits and all that, but got ballerinas going around with tutus and bending over and all these sorts of things, and guys are getting all sorts of going mad. You know what I mean? And I imagine that night everybody was like put paper on the spy holes and just doing silly things all night long. You know what I mean? It was great. It was fantastic for the governor to do that for us and the chief, yeah. And it was just, I forgot the guy who really organised it, I forget his name now. He's the guy who organised it, is on a picture with me, with the weights on the floor, with Peter Lyons and other people in Chelmsford Prison. Because we had photographs down in Chelmsford Prison as well, you know what I mean? Yeah, and and this guy was one of the guys that got all this done for us, and it's crazy that, one day we was there, and I remember being in the kitchen, and he coming, Alan Dixon with Georgie Jones, and they're laughing and joking, and they're saying, guess who's coming? Like that, and sort of like everybody's, who's coming? What? Sex Pistols. Who the fuck are Sex Pistols? We don't know. I don't know. Who's the Sex Pistols? Because it was like early, you know what I mean? Oh, it's a group. They're like this. They're crazy. They're this and that. Headbangers and anyway, when it happens, it was a bit. They made a record, Sex Pistols, about Chelmsford Prison. That's what it was like. They made a record about us, you know, because it was so different. It was so different, yeah. And we wanted to kill them. We wanted to kill them, you know, because of what they said. Shouted out to us, shouted us to the audience what we should do, what we shouldn't do. How do we let these people do this, these people do that? The Screws, they got out of hand. And that to get them out, Sex Pistols out a bit quick, mate. Otherwise, they'd have been killed. I swear, there's some nutters in there. Nutters that would go mad, you know. And it was like, to have that in Chelmsford Prison was like different, mate. You know, it was like, you think, crikey, you know. And you had people in there, good screws in there, like, and I remember on the stage when I was just doing powerlifting, Kenny Beagle was with us doing the powerlifting, and he decided he got shot, Kenny Beagle. They done him because he used to be a hitman, Kenny Beagle, and they done him in a hospital car park, shot, bump, done him in the head, didn't they? But, you know, he was big drug dealing as well, his nickel. Anyway, but they done him. But Kenny Beagle, all that lot was in the power team. And then Kenny left one day, he said, no, I'm not doing it. And me and Kenny had a row with each other. And then he tried to give me a headlock upstairs and he killed me. Anyway, but good times, mate. Some good, I mean, there's so many stories about Chelmsford Prison. You know, I could go on for hours about Chelmsford Prison, what went on, you know. And the wing we had by the kitchen, it was all locked up and it was done for films. They made films there, you know, like when we was banged up or whatever, they went in there and done films. So the wing was like really old. It hadn't changed from day one. You know, I forget that it was, what were we in that bit? AC, D-Wing, it must be D-Wing. Yeah, it was like the kitchen and it was like all done for films. And you had good screws in there, mate. Jack Sad, the SO from C-Wing. You know, don't forget, there was no phones. Nothing had that. It was all down to letters. And Jack said, Alan Dixon, Jimmy Tibbs, the Tibbses, like Jimmy, all them people wanted him a lawyer. Not so much Terry Moore and Ludlows, they had no chance. But, you know, all the good ones could go to Jack Sad and get a phone call from him in the office. You know, Jack said he'd come out of the office, look around, go and quick get in there and get on the phone. Because the office was right on the centre, near the centre. So, you know, you had to be careful because the centre was like, they run the nick, don't they, as such, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was like, I was really like so happy in there, you know, because, you know, if I said to you what I'd done to myself, you know, from coming out of the block, a little man, you know, being bashed up by screws and this, that and the other for a long time, yeah. And come out and be put into a cell, just this bare, very high cells in Chelmsford, round, yeah, round ceilings, yeah, very high, and they echo. When they got nothing in them, they echo, yeah. And the first night in there, Togi Ludlow come down and give me a radio. Other people come and give me sweets and bits and pieces. So you're comfortable, yeah. But it's nothing. But it's a bare necessity. It's a bed, tables, chair, you know, things like that, yeah. But after, I don't know, maybe a year, I had a geezer called Tomlinson. What's his name? His name was Tomlinson. Sid Tomlinson. He's in the photograph, the weights for me. Sid Tomlinson. He want me ever mention his name. Sid Tomlinson on a thing like this. Like, he doesn't know, obviously, you know, I'm on about papers and all that, you know, but he didn't ever want me to mention his name, Sid Tomlinson. I don't know why, but yeah, I'll mention his name now. Sid was a nice old geezer, nice fella, walked around, he's just come and train with me, had a little body, nice little body, little guy, I was getting him on the weights, give me an hand, you know, work with him. And he used to help me out do my setup. And one day I went down to Jack Said and I said, Mr. Said, you've got a couple of cells, just cells that they put old lockers in, tables and all that. Can I have some? He went, go on, Ellie, get in there and do what you want to do, mate. So he opened it up, we took lockers out there, saws, he got all his, oh my mate, he got Sid Thompson, saws, screws, drivers, and he made, you're going to think I'm joking or I'm lying, he made like something like a Schreiber unit in there. Yeah, I had two shelves coming onto like a wardrobe unit, honestly, then two more shelves, yeah, coming on to something else, where else to do my tea and all that, yeah. And over to the right, I had a little cupboard and little other shelves and on a sofa, the armchair that come out the officer's mess. It's a joke, you know, like to have all that in your cell, you know, and just, oh, what it was like, I don't know, it was mad. You could get, you know, and the screw opens in the morning, you just like go to the kitchen, 5 o'clock in the morning, go down, help out in the coppers, you know, get things ready for your porridges and all that game. Chelmsford Prison, I mean, Chelmsford Prison, in my time, was the best prison in England. Was the best prison. No one has had a prison like that, no one. No one has ever been to a prison like that, you know. And when sometimes I talk about it, and I sometimes get screws come onto my comments, yeah, and they say to me, "No, it's like never. It could never happen," you know. But it did happen. Where Screws in there was looking after cons. Ronnie Bender, like the greatest thing that I used to see was when people used to send things in to reception, and I'm not quite sure if Ronnie Bender at one time worked on a reception because there's so much gear come out of reception. People were sending it in, it ain't allowed on the wing, but Ronnie Bender be bringing it in, like, you know, and Ronnie Bender had anything, everything that he wanted in his cell. You know, he had all these cushions. I was going to do a lot of network, yeah, with the cushions. He had loads of drink, loads. I'm not, listen, people think I'm exaggerating. He had scotch, vodka, Bacardi, gin. He had everything he wanted. He had it in there. He had Kimber cigars, his cigars, them cigars. He had loads of cigars. Cigarettes, like they're gone out of fashion. Tobacco, Gold Virginia, Old Hogan. Everything, you know what I mean? It's like, he had it all. And the Screws didn't care. The Screws didn't care. I've seen Screws go in there and come out with things, chocolate and things like that Ronnie Bender's give them on the wing, you know? And so it was like, it was, I don't know, it was mad. It was like a prison. Our C wing was like, it's just, it was, some people, you know, I mean, for a guy like Alan Dixon, who was always singing, him and Joe Lott had a accordion, one of them accordions, Joe Lott, you might remember me, I hope you're seeing this, Joe Lott, he had an accordion, and he used to play it, you know, and Alan Dixon, and he'd sing, and he'd be playing and singing the guitars, another guy would be on the guitar, Lou Swallow would be on the guitar, someone else would be on this, a mouth organ, it was like proper, you know. And the day that Alan Dixon finished his bird, yeah. It was lucky he never got more bird added on it, you know what I mean? But he would not bang up. He got onto the centre, he got onto the bridge that goes onto the other landings, on the other side. He got on there, mate, on the 3s and the 4s. He got on there and he would not stop singing. There was 3 or 4 up there, Joe Lott, someone else on a guitar, I think it was Lou Swallow, and they was singing My Ways and this, that. And it was, they never could bang it up. But they banged up about 9 o'clock, half 9. We should be banged up at 8 o'clock. But, you know, to see Alan Dixon go, you know, and he's going to see everybody, and it's all tearful. You know, you don't think that big men are going to cuddle and, you know, oh, mate, oh, Al, and all that, and, you know, and then to come out of prison and to meet Alan Dixon. And the greatest thing that I ever had was when I went to, I was bodyguarding Gary Stretch when he fought Eubanks. And we had to go to the weigh-in and all that. So I was there, and I was on the stage, suited and booted. And who got on the stage? Jimmy Tibbs, young Jimmy Tibbs. And all right, Jim, do you know what? It's mad, isn't it? It's like, you know, as if like it was only seen yesterday. And he went, hello, Ray, come over and cuddle me, how are you, mate? And all that. And it was so nice. And then we went to a boxing show once, unlicensed fight. And I was there, I was fighting, and I bashed this guy up. And anyway, jumped out of the ring, Alan Dixon's going mad, you know, and cuddled me and loved me. And it was like, oh, mate, it was brought all the memories back to me, you know, all the prison and mates and, you know, believe it or not, mate, when you're in prison, the amount of people that are faces, proper faces, yeah, and people talk about them and you read about them, you read about this, you read about that, but when you're in prison with them, mate, they're not like that at all. They're not like that at all, mate. Perhaps they are, but, you know, I never see anything like that. I see people that could like a handful, could have a right fight like young Jimmy Tibbs. Young Jimmy Tibbs, I mean, you could see what he was, yeah, and what he could be. And he was a very dangerous man, young Jim. And the old man, listen, when the old man walked down the landing, mate, people, all right, Jim, get out of the way, all right, mate, good morning, mate, he shook his hands. He was like a godfather. You know, like, you say that, but he was like a godfather, yeah? He was like a proper, you know, a proper guy. And he got Mickey Green on the other side of the landing, you know, another guy that was really respected, you know, and multi-millionaire. And there was guys in there that were multi-millionaires. And it's strange that these guys that have become big gangsters, yeah, big multi-millionaires, and there they are, not fighting, but all mates, but all got the best jobs. You know, and the jobs they got, they would never work outside. Mind you, old man Jimmy Tibbs and young Jimmy, they had a scrapyard, didn't I say? But a lot of them never worked outside, never done a day's work. And now they are downstairs, like sweeping up and mopping up and doing bits and pieces, or running around with teas to the screws, and yet, you know, it don't seem possible, but it is what it is, yeah? That's what it is. Mate, I loved that, mate. I loved that. People go, what, you fucking mad? You love that life? I didn't love that life, mate, but we made it what it was. We made it what it was, you know. And for Chelmsford to burn down like it did, and the person that burnt it down, we never got to the nitty-gritty of it, yeah, but the person that burnt it down didn't want to, I don't know, for some reason he didn't want to go, he didn't want to lead the place, he didn't want something, it wasn't right, yeah, and he just burnt it down, mate. A lot of people think it was the orderly, the guy that won, the church orderly, think it was him, you know, but, you know, then it all burnt from the library into the church. It was a shame, you know, it was a shame. And when you see pictures of Chelmsford Prison with the governor, that's the governor you see in Chelmsford Prison looking it around. My cell's up there, I can even see my cell. You know, he's there, standing there, and you can see my cell, receiving, yeah? And, you know, you can see them, it wasn't really touched, the wing wasn't really touched, yeah? But, you know, obviously so, and they must have, I remember Jack said, yeah, they had these visitors come round looking at people's cells, yeah? Looking at how people live. And my cell was like, you'd never believe it, yeah? So Jack said, put a big piece of paper on the front of the cell, please not do it coming in the cell, it's been fumigated. So these people would go in it. Old Jack said, I loved him, man. And me and Peter Lyons, he used to have his great big knife here. He got out of the kitchen, sharpened it all up, and it was like, it was murder, mate, Peter. It's a stab few people up. And me and him one day, we fell out over do you always fall out over prison? Is you fall out over food. You don't fall out and nothing else, it's all food. Food is like money, you know. And there's a lot of it, you know. Everyone in the kitchen got looked after. But Peter sometimes was a little bit greedy with his milk. He loved his fags, he loved his little bit of puff. So he's always looking at people on other wings to get his puff, you know. So Peter was very greedy like that. So one day he was like, he put the milk where I used to sit on the pipe. I walked up, nicked the milk, walked out of it. and then the SO told him that I walked out with the milk because the SO was all right about me walking out with some milk because it's not a big problem. And then he come up to me, Peter, shouting, I'm going to kill you. You've got a big knife. And I picked up my weights to do with my weights. But what can you do with a big 50-pound dumbbell? He's can't do a lot of that. He's, you know, he stabbed me to death. But we were just pals, mate. And, you know, Tony Edlin, my mate's dad, Rocky Edlin, my mate, Tony Edlin, the nicest guy you could ever meet, yeah? Tony Edlin, all he did all day is these special wooden pegs or whatever for his teeth, yeah? He must have spent a fortune on his teeth, they're pure white. And he used to have his pegs, and all day long he'd be picking them out with these bits of wood. That was his thing. Good footballer, Tony. Good footballer. Mickey Green, good footballer. And it doesn't seem possible that you know, all these people that I've met all malted up, you know. And years ago, I used to see Mickey Green down his club with all that lot of Wilkinson, Bertie Smalls, all that, you know, Brian Turner's and all that. And you go to prison, you meet all them people. It's like, I don't know, mate. You know, I miss all my mates. I miss all them people, you know. I miss all them people that I had when I was away. They was all good friends of mine, you know. And then once Chelsea burnt down, you know, we went to the Scrubs, Wandsworth and Scrubs, the Ville, Brixton, all different places, you know. And then it all comes back. Prison comes back. You realise, fucking hell, this is prison. I'm back in prison. I've just come out of holiday camp. He's just come out of holiday camp and you're going back to prison. Anyway, bang, bang, whale. I'll show you another story later on, but we've got to go, yeah? Bye.